I know nothing with any certainty. I know nothing with any certainty, but the sight of the stars make me dream. Gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go.
All right. What's going on? What up, Jeff?
What's going on, man? How you been?
Good. My apologies about yesterday, man. I was caught up with my cousins and we was out and about doing some stuff, and I was like, man, I ain't even gonna get home in time enough. So I appreciate you being considerate and just running it back tonight.
Yeah, I'm. Listen, my kids go to bed early every night, and I'm just sitting. I, I sit here until about 10:30, 11 o'clock. Like, yo, what am I gonna do? I'm not used to go to
I
bed
know.
so early, but I know I gotta get up. My kids got to get on the bus. Their bus comes at 6:38 in the morning.
That is early, man. I think I remember you telling me about that. 6:38. That's super early. What time does school start?
For them, 7:15.
7 o'clock?
Yeah.
What?
No, 7:20. 7:20 it starts. Yeah.
That is crazy. My daughter, her bus don't come until 8 o'clock. It's about 7:20.
Yeah.
I only
And they're and
imagine that took some you getting used to in the beginning. I bet.
we're still not used to it. My daughter, I'm like, it's time to go get up. She's like, no, no, it's not, Dad.
Because that's like getting up. You gotta get ready to go work a whole shift.
Yeah.
And they gotta be up early, like 5:30. Oh man, that's funny. But hey, everybody has to adjust to something. What's been going on in the world of politics, man? What you've been seeing some craziness
Oh man.
taking place, man. I've been hearing
Well,
some stuff here and there.
there's some crazy stuff, but the good thing that I saw today. Well,
Hmm.
I was pretty surprised. I'm not saying politically. Well, I guess it is a political thing, but um, they were rioting down at the Barclays Center today
Oh, really?
over Kyrie's suspension.
What at the Barclay? Oh, I heard about that. Some people were getting very upset about that because
Yeah,
it
man.
became an NBA. Like I guess the NBA is they're the ones actually trying to push for everybody to get the shot, whereas it's almost like your employer opting for everybody to get the shot, but they're not creating alternatives for people. Like some places are doing the religious exempts, stuff like
Yeah,
that. You come in there with your medical history, anything that you may have, they're trying to respect that. But the NBA is just they're pushing strictly the shot, but they're looking at their product as like, hey, we're going to all these different states, everywhere. I mean, him playing in one state and not being able to play another, but I mean, you got to find a way to kind of, try to accommodate people the best way it is. But the thing I feel that the problem a lot of people are having now is that before you told us that it wasn't going to be any mandates, that it was our choice, and now you're coming down with mandates, and then now you're actually ostracizing people in the media. and actually,
Yeah.
pinning people against their teammates. So I found that to be very disturbing when it comes to the Kyrie situation. But you can go ahead and continue on what you were saying.
No, it just, I mean, I was just looking at the kind of like the type of person that was out there. Um, and it looks like the same crowd that might have been out there for, you know, uh, social justice. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
if a cop killed somebody or, something like that, it was young adults. It wasn't because I think a lot of the older people really aren't going to go out there, first of all, but,
Yeah.
basketball's kind of a, younger crowd more than
Yeah.
even football, probably,
True. True.
But it was just, I was just surprised. It just caught me off guard. I was like, oh, and really what it comes down to, man, and we've been talking about this for quite a while, even in these other countries, man, you know, people are people are fed up with what's going on,
Hmm.
with what's the norm of
Yeah.
how the government is, politics in general, and it's just if we could just steer these younger generations to put their all of their focus or their anger and hatred
Hmm.
towards the right way of standing up and standing up for the right things, because I don't think they just want to stand up, so they just pick something and go all out. I don't even think half of them care about what's actually happens and why they're out in the streets. They're really just angry and frustrated, and they're kind of connecting with whatever happened and taking their anger and frustration out, over a situation.
So
And
you're looking at this more so as like a manufactured. I was gonna say control, but like a manufactured response.
I think, have you ever seen that movie? It's an old movie, man. It was called um, Politically Incorrect.
I heard of that movie. I never seen it though. I heard of it.
If you, well, first of all, I started watching House of Cards. So, um,
How
you're
was
always
it?
suggest it's good, man. It's good. Yeah,
I
I'm,
told
I'm
you.
only I'm only a couple episodes in because they're long. It's like they're like hour episodes, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a lot though that goes into
But
no episode.
yeah,
Yeah.
but this movie, man, if you ever get to check it out, it's a really good movie, and it will explain exactly what's going on. What I'm trying to express basically is there's so much protesting about so many things that people are more into the protest than what they're actually trying that they're against.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I get what you're saying. I definitely can agree with that. That's what kind of got me out of the whole marching and just being on the political scene myself when I used to do a lot of the grassroots
Yeah,
stuff for I forgot Metro Justice was one of the grassroots organizations I was affiliated with, and they had a lot of purpose. I had a lot of fight in what they were actually trying to accomplish. I mean, we actually had real meetings, real things, agendas written on the boards, different issues that we wanted to attack. But when I really sat back and looked at it as a whole, I was like, man, these issues are seeming kind of like self-serving issues that are taking place to where it's so many different political bodies that have their own interest in a certain part of what issue they want to take on. There was nothing collectively happening to where I was like, all of these issues could be solved if we just put it under this one term or under this, we go
Yeah,
for this one resource. It was kind of like everybody was vying for different parts of resources, and it just kind of like divided everybody's everybody's true intentions. It was like one group of people would be fighting for this, another group's fighting for this, and we all like, hey, we're all fighting for the same thing. But then one group will be like, well, my group has been doing this longer and we should get the funds and resources first. And the other group's like,
yeah,
hey, we've been doing this too, we've trying to. And I'm like, what the hell is going on, man? I had to get away from it. I really did. I just didn't see
yeah,
anything, any change coming. I didn't see, and here I am, about 5 or 6 years removed, and we're still talking about the same issues, and if they gotten worse since then. So,
yeah. So I mean, it gave me a, a a little bit more hope just because I just I know that people are tired of the tyrannic just overlord you know over overlords in the governments telling us how to
hmm
every day every every day somebody in America is altering their actions, their thoughts,
yep,
um, for something that they may or may not even believe. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
even if you're okay with, just simple thing, wearing a mask in a grocery store, even if you're
hmm
okay with that and you're doing it because you want to feel safe, you are altering your thoughts against the other person who doesn't believe, who
yeah,
doesn't want to do it. And so everybody is just, it's been I- but that pressure is, I think, is a powder keg, and powder keg, and it's blowing up, and it's spewing back out. And what's happening is people are realizing, I did all this for what? I
mm,
I argued, I hated that person because
yep,
that person didn't wear this, or this person didn't get the vaccine, or this person, took the last toilet paper, or you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
it's just, and so I think people are fed up with it, and it's actually showing that our leadership doesn't know how to handle it because they're continuing to do what people are getting upset about, and it's showing in the polls. Biden, I, I would not be too far-fetched right now to say that he's probably going to be the worst president in the history of the United States of
oh
America.
yeah, I can concur. He has like the worst polling ever, right? Is that something they were
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like the worst ever? Yeah, I had read something about that recently.
Um, and they just continue. Uh, right now, biggest, the largest caravan of people is coming through Mexico, coming into Mexico right now than ever in the history of caravans.
What?
So yeah, hundreds and thousands of people are walking to coming together to go in, to come up to America right now. So much so that even Biden said we need to work out a plan to keep them in Mexico because we can't take all these people.
Oh my goodness.
They might
Yeah.
even hurry up and try to fix the wall without telling anybody because it's so serious.
Yeah. Now they want the wall. Now they see how much the wall meant.
Yeah, and the companies that already were supposed to build them, they already got paid. I don't know if you talked about that. The
Oh
company
no,
was
no. Go ahead.
yeah, they already got paid to finish it. It was paid for and everything. Biden stopped the the company from building. Said, no, I don't care if you get paid. You already got paid. Just walk away. You're not building it. They have
Just for
all just to make a point.
yeah, that was that just so irresponsible. Just he's a dimwit, man. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
just a stupid guy, man.
And so it's like, uh, it's just basically there was some strategic things that 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 Trump did that resonated, that made sense to most people. Like, let's have a secure border so we can control who comes in and comes out. That's not prejudice. Every other country in the world does that.
Yeah,
Most, it's not even, I mean, even in third world countries, they don't just let you walk up into their country or come fly into their country and hang out in their country unless
well,
you have a
and
visa or
and
something.
that was one of the things that I was telling people. I said, yo, we have to realize that this is it's funny how they play the mind games with you, like you were saying. There's people are out here just protesting because they're just there's a whole bunch of causes that people are just going with, and they don't even realize what the heck is that they're being controlled. That the fact that you would even sit up there and look at thousands and thousands of people entering our country illegally and try to empathize and try to make us sympathize with them coming over here illegally when we know that you
Yeah,
can't just do that to any other country. Like, what the hell is going on with people's minds? Like I said, people are truly been brainwashed by the media to even think that's okay. Like, I understand the DACA and all that other stuff, but just come over
yeah,
here.
like it,
Even Trump said that. Come over here the right way. I didn't say you can't come here. Just come the right way.
yeah, and he even offered the Democrats DACA. He basically said, "I'll give you that. Just build the wall." They turned it down. He was going to basically say, whatever kid was born in America or brought here by America by somebody illegal. So, because there's some people that were actually born here, but they're not legal. They're still illegal aliens because their parents don't have papers. So
Yeah.
they never went through the process. But
Right.
these people, they've got social security numbers, they've got whatever, but they're still not American citizens. So there's hundreds of thousands of those um, individuals in America,
Yeah,
and he
it
and he
is.
even and but but that's different. That's saying, you know what, these people already snuck in. But what he did say was, we're gonna vet them, and if they are not um, contributing citizens, then they're going back to their country, and they
As
didn't like
simple as
that.
that. As simple as that. I mean, some people look at it as okay, America. I understand. Trump put wanted America first in a lot of different things, but we understand in society that certain nations they push certain type of educations more so than other countries. For instance, we know India is a place where a lot of people go into medicine, they go into the doctor fields and stuff like that. And we have to understand that America, for the most part, we aren't as we have become a nation to where a lot of our I don't want to say that a lot of our people aren't intelligent enough when it comes to like doing medical stuff like that, but we're just not geared in that. Like that, there's nobody really pushing their
It's our
kids.
it's our education system.
Yeah,
The,
like
the
it's
way
not
that
really like. like I would say, like for them, they're getting visas and things to come over and just to
Oh
study
yeah.
in our country for free. We don't really like we're more so into the sports academia. Like we'll give you a full ride to college for
Yeah.
sports, but like when it comes to like medical, we just don't put that kind of stuff to the forefront. Skill trade to the forefront to say we want to invest into our people in America. We rather outsource from other countries and bring the stuff. It gets weird when you get into the visas and all that other stuff, but I can kind of understand what people are looking at when it comes to why we would do business that way when it comes to allowing foreign people to come over here, and but we have to put America first. Still, I said even that's even fine, but come over here the right way, do things the right way, but we have to stop taking the short end of the stick as an American country. We need to be put our people in the position to compete. Like you said, the
Yeah.
education systems, we're not even putting our people in position to compete.
It's yeah. Well, they've changed the system to a testing system, and
Hmm.
so we learn how to take tests. We're not learning how, like,
At all.
the why the reason why
Yep.
Asian and Indian and African those cultures do so well in the medical field is because to be a doctor you have to have as close as possible to a photographic memory. You have to remember so much information. And if you aren't taught how to take information in quickly, store it, and recall it
Hmm. Hmm.
at a high level, you will never be a doctor
Mm.
unless you're very highly gifted.
Yeah.
And so you see one or two white doctors around. They are normally the most awkward because they're probably closest to the spectrum of you know of what's it called when you're smart but you just don't have the social skills, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of it's almost like a savant. I think
Yeah,
like an idiot savant. Like it's like you're smart, you're savvy in what you do, but you're very socially awkward. Almost, yeah.
exactly. You know, but so but what we're seeing is the destruction of a small group of polluted leaders within our government who controlled so much and basically just gathered power and more power amongst themselves. Um, and we're seeing that their plans and the bubble that the platform that they created to do all these different things, like the Clintons and the
Yeah.
Obamas and even before that, even the Bushes. And it's not a, it's really not about Democratic and Republican. It's about
Oh no, no, we know that.
corruption, you know.
Yeah,
So
we know that.
we're seeing all this stuff blow up, even to the fact they had to come out just this week. I know the end of last week, they came out and said if Trump never did those. Remember how crazy everybody thought Trump was when he did the tariffs and was fighting for the tariffs against
Yeah.
China?
Yep.
Remember how bad? I mean, it was horrible. He was gonna ruin the world. He was gonna.
Yeah.
It was
And they
not.
was getting
Remember
mad.
all that?
Yep.
Listen, if he never did that, do you know the inflation that we see right now
That would have been
would have
worse.
they were saying that it might have been doubled or what we saw now if he
Oh
didn't
my
do that.
gosh.
and that's from Biden's administration.
See,
That
that's
that's
crazy.
not even that that's not even a Trump thing. That's not Trump saying, look, if I didn't do this, this would be. This is Biden's cabinet. They're not messing with those trade. They're not messing with those things
Yeah,
because they know if they do, the dollar is done for.
yeah, yeah. That definitely
And
saved us, man.
and on top of that, I heard, and I haven't been able to um, confirm it with other uh, sources yet, but Biden, I I heard in one article that Biden is planning on um, starting to produce more oil and natural gas in America to bring down the gas prices because his numbers are so low that people are hating it.
Oh wow, they just thought about doing that, huh?
Yeah,
Wow, they should have been
but
doing that. What was the
yeah,
what was the holdup?
it
That was
was
what the
because
pipeline is about.
yeah,
Wasn't that the whole pipeline thing, the Keystone
it,
Pipeline?
the whole Keystone pipeline. I mean, even without the pipeline, we could have kept on producing enough oil and natural gas to supply our own country, just our own country. Um, and the prices would have would have been the same as when Trump was in. Because all we did was produce enough for us to run off of, and then whatever was left, we started to sell to other countries.
Yeah, see, that's the crazy thing. I mean, I be paying so much money at the pump. I know I probably get on my truck. I'm probably getting 12 miles to the gallon city wise, and I
Oh,
pay so much at the pump. I'm probably putting $20 in my tank every 3 days.
yeah,
And my fiance always get mad. She's like, "Why you just don't fill the tank up?" Because
I know.
I hate filling the tank up. I mean, I fill the tank up, and then I feel like, oh man, like it's gonna get all burnt up. I'm like, if I put enough in, I'm only gonna drive a certain. It doesn't matter, man. I'm probably doing a good 120 to 150 a month just in my truck alone.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Gas wise, it's crazy, man. It gets
food's
because
going
some days I
up.
gotta travel a little
Everything.
further than other days. I know when the winter comes, that's when it's gonna really be like, whoo. But the pump is just, oh my gosh, man. I don't even look at the number. I just look at $5 a gallon. In my head, I'm thinking $5 a gallon. I might as well just go straight to it now. Like, okay, $20 right here, about to get me 4
Yeah,
gallons.
and I don't put nothing but the best gas in my car too. So it's
What you do the premium?
the super or whatever the
Now,
out
is
of
your
the
does your
three.
vehicle take that, or is that something that's what you just put in?
I always did that with my vehicles. It's better for
Oh,
me. Yeah.
what did you? What do
And
you?
what I found out too is
Uh huh.
that when 'cause I did a lot of traveling, a lot of commuting. When I
Yeah.
somebody told me to switch over to the good gas, and you'll actually get more miles to the gallon with the better gas too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And you've noticed that in the past what
And
years?
yeah, I mean, I used to have to commute just one way was 72 miles.
Mm.
So I was commuting over 140, about 144 miles a day,
Ooh.
back and forth. Yeah, all the way into Connecticut, all the way down to Stamford, Connecticut, from where I live to Stamford, Connecticut and back was 144 miles. There was days
Yeah.
where I just pulled off the side of the road and took a nap because I was so tired. But
Wow.
they had what I used to, and then I played around with speed. What's the best speed to travel? Man, for like I think it was like 1 month out of, I was working there for like 3 years, I think. Out of one
Hmm.
month, I I went 55 miles an hour the whole way. Set it on cruise control and did 55 miles an hour. And I did not. I wanted to see if I could save money. Man, so many people cursed me out, honked their horns. They hated me, but I tried it. I didn't see that it saved me any money, man. I really didn't.
You thought you were saving money doing
Yeah, I
55
was so
miles an
mad. I was like, I did that month and nothing.
hour. It was nothing different, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, 55 miles an hour. You might as well just put it to
but
the metal, man. Go ahead and just hit that pasture lane and keep it going.
yeah,
But like I said,
but
just
there's
but just
some.
even go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say just another like a positive thing
Hmm.
um that I saw on the news. Just an article, and it just gave me some, just like how I saw those protesters protesting about the mandates. There
Hmm.
was a school in Louisiana that had, it was like known for its violence. It was the worst school in Louisiana. It was a high school. There was
Hmm.
shootings and fights, and every day there was something going on.
Hmm. Okay.
And the father said, one father said, you know what? We can't we can't turn our kids over to the police department, and like, if anybody needs to do something, we need to do something. So they
I think I heard
formed a
about this.
yeah, they formed a group called Dads on Duty.
Yeah, yeah. My guy was talking about that last night on the podcast. Yep. I heard about that. Dad's on duty.
And
Yep.
they interviewed the kids. The kids were like, it is so peaceful at school. They haven't had one fight since they started. The kids enjoy it because they tell corny dad jokes,
Yeah, yep.
mess
I heard
around
Billy
with
Boy
them.
say that. Yep, yep.
Like tie your sneaker, and you look down and it's not tied, and they'll be all laughing at you. They just
Right.
old man jokes and stuff.
Yeah.
And so they're looking to do that throughout that area and go nationwide. And it just made, like, the pushback from these agendas. Like, people are getting upset and doing things that prove that the agenda that's been shoved down our throats for so long, even hidden agendas that have been thrown down, like fathers shouldn't fathers are aren't around, and even the black father where is absent, right?
Yep.
All
Yep.
that stuff. I mean,
Hmm.
but you put a true man, a father, into a situation, it settles things. You know what I'm saying? It brings peace where there's confusion,
Yeah.
and I believe it's spiritual. When these things happen like that. I
Yeah.
mean, even and it's all kind of all time. I mean, look, David Chappelle's special. He
Perfect
set him
timing.
same thing. He had enough, and you know what? Everybody was laughing about it. Everybody could say, you know what, this doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
Why why are they pushing this agenda but forgetting about the real agenda that's been affecting us for 400 over 400 years, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know, right? That's what David Chappelle did. But that's what I said. Like when you have extremes like the Dave Chappelle show that come out there, we have situations that take. And I said like with the dads on duty, I said that's just an amazing period. And I look at that standpoint just from the male energy period. I said we tend to
Exactly.
negate the fact of having that masculinity being like that leadership, the head. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Yeah.
got that being, collectively that energy you can't fight that energy. So I look at it in a spiritual aspect too. Like everything is going to come to a head, and a lot of heads are just going to roll because people are going to snap out of it and be like, what the heck are we doing? Like,
Yeah.
it's going to take a general consensus of a lot of people saying, you know what, we've been controlled so long that we've actually are being divided. We think that we're coming together more by respecting everybody's opinion and decisions, but at the end of the day, we got to start looking at life like morality and getting back to what's real. Like, that's a
Yeah.
boy, that's a girl. If they choose to date the same race or same sex, that's their personal choice. I don't care what you do in your bedroom, but we're
Yeah.
not going to keep trying to subject our children to TV shows and music and all of this other stuff to try to push this agenda on them. Because now what we're doing is they're getting so far away from morality. We're trying to, they're trying to create it to where we don't even look at a gender. It's
Yeah.
whatever they say. Like, what the hell is going on? Like, nah, that's going against nature, what's natural, and nature always wins. So when you try to go against the natural order of things, you're going to see it's going to all end up blowing up in your face. And the way
Yeah.
it's going to blow up is like Lil Boosie. He just came on against Lil Nas X because he doesn't like the agenda of Lil Nas X going to schools to read books to kids, because they did it strategically with Lil Nas X. What they
Yeah.
did
Yo,
was
it's
they had
crazy.
him do
Did
a
that
whole bunch
cowboy
of book
song.
he got real close with kids. That's what
Yeah.
they did with him. They let him get real close with kids, and before they really pumped him and pushed him out there. Because the thing about Lil Nas X was that he actually did an interview on a Breakfast Club recently, and he came on. He said, "Fuck your kids." Like, he said that, like, and I was like, "What?" I kept hearing about it. I went and seen the interview. He said that, like, "Fuck your kids. I don't care about."
What?
Yeah, go look it up. Breakfast Club, Lil Nas X says F the kids. You go look it up, because he's saying, I don't care about people saying that I'm out there misguiding and misleading the children with what I'm doing. And this guy actually went on the campaign to read books at schools, introduce
Yeah.
himself to kids, and they did that all strategically in the beginning of his career with that Old Town Road song came out, just to get
Yeah.
everybody on it. Then they let him come out super gay, crazy, homosexual stuff, and like, see, once I built the likeness of all the children. I've gained all their trust. Now they look at me on TV. Now I can just come out, oh, he's gay, he likes, oh, he's cool. I could be like Little Nas X. One of those things. So Little Boosie is like, yo, I'm not with none of that kind of stuff. So Lil Nas X came on Instagram making up a joke saying, oh, I just got done making this hot song with Lil Boosie. And man, Lil Boosie came out, and the whole LGBTQ community's mad at him right now. That man came out and said, Lil Nas X, you, man, he said some foul stuff. Pretty much to the point to where you should just die, go kill yourself. The world will be better without you. Like, Lil Boosie went in on him, man. But Little Boosie is more so, he's not knocking the homosexuality. He's knocking the Little Nas X agenda that he's
Yeah.
putting out
Yeah.
there against kids. But yeah, man, it's crazy. When you go look that up, man, he definitely said F
I'll
the
look.
kids.
Yeah. But even where's Little Nas X from? Because when I heard him in an interview, um, he sounded very uh educated. He
Hmm.
was. I don't. He didn't sound like somebody that would came from a trap house, or you know what I'm saying,
No,
like from the streets. It was almost like I wanted to find out where he was from. Like he's
but
probably
you even
related to somebody, and they just like they do with a lot of these
in a
other
cage.
people, they recruit them. You know.
Yeah, because they did that. They do that with him. You look at Lizzo. I don't know if you know about her. She's another R&B singer. Lizzo. She's a big, fat, overweight R&B singer, and she gets praised for being fat and overweight. But her whole thing is the body shaming. So they use her as a prop in the black community to
Oh
go against
yeah.
body shaming. But she's the main one always on Instagram
twerking, bending over, pulling her. She just pulled her pants down on Instagram recently, and was twerking on live. And it's like she's all big and fat. Nobody wants to see that. But see, what happens is now you can't say that. Because if you say that, then everybody's going to attack you. Oh, you're body shaming. I
Yeah,
said, that's
that's
where we're losing our morality. So we can't even say, hey, yo, you're fat. You should lose weight to get healthy. Like, we're getting so far away from morality and what's really happening that even crazy stuff like that can just, we're looking at fat people and saying, it's okay to be fat. You're good.
yeah,
Instead of saying, hey, you know what, you should, that's really not the best idea to have that type of diet, or really just speaking truth to people. We can't even say that anymore.
that's what that what was that? He's English news. He's like, I don't know what they call it, but more of an opinion. He's not like a news anchor or anything. Something Morgan something.
What is he?
He's
Morgan Stanley.
English. Morgan something Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but he told this big girl kind of the same situation. They were like putting. I think she was like the first overweight person in doing like Victoria's Secret. What's not one of the because Victoria's Secret kicked off all those pretty chicks and now they went to regular regular girls.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's like overweight, you know, whatever,
Okay.
or not in shape. And he was saying that this one big chick who's like been glorified and she does the same thing but she's white, kind of thing.
Oh, I forgot who her name was. Yeah, I forgot. It was
He's
the same type.
saying,
They're
but he
using
says if
her for the
you're
body shaming.
Yeah, well, he got canceled because he said you're glorifying a body that is only created because you're unhealthy. So you're telling people it's okay to be unhealthy, and these little kids are looking like, oh, I don't have to watch what I eat because look at this.
Right? Like,
And that's all he said. He said it has nothing to do with your body. It has to do with the message you're telling the children
mm-hmm.
is that this is okay and
Exactly.
it's not okay.
It
And
is
he went
not.
and
That's
he
the
broke
part.
down
It's
the
like, no,
numbers.
it's not.
Yeah, they broke down the numbers like, yo, you're like 20 times more likely to die before you're 40. You're,
Yep.
you're this. You're 20 more times to do this. You're 20 more times. And he just broke down all these numbers and he got canceled. I haven't really heard from him quite a while.
Yeah.
Pierce Morgan is his name.
Oh, I
Pierce
remember
Morgan.
Pierce Morgan. Yep. Yep. I know Pierce Morgan. I've heard of him. Yep.
But
Yeah.
these agendas, I think people are seeing through that. And people are having to reconcile. Some people are having to reconcile that they were even a part of some of these agendas.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because look at,
See, that's the thing. They're pulling you out. They're busting you out. They're pulling up old text messages,
yeah,
old emails, tweets. Man, listen, this world is getting crazy, man. I mean, absolutely crazy. My thing is too, Jeff, is I always tell this to people. Now, I understand us black people being a minority in America and a minority, but there was this great debate that my good one of my colleagues he had showed me. It was a debate against James Baldwin versus this other guy. I guess it was like a Cambridge. They were having a debate about society, about the black man in society and the white man in society. And at
yeah,
first, I've always seen this debate, but I've never watched it in its entirety to really try to understand it until this day. And when I heard James Baldwin, he made all the talking points of, being a black man in America and experiencing injustices and everything. And I understood his points. But when the white man went up there and started talking and he started breaking it down, I said, yo, the white man is right. Because one of his main points was, yo, when has it ever been a time in history where the majority
where the minority concerns were the concerns of the majority. And I said, yo, you're right. I said, if we're living in America and you're telling me that 65% of the people here are Caucasian and 14% of the people here are black, why do you think why you only being 14% of a majority, why are you thinking that you're going to automatically be put first or being picked first? I would naturally be picking my people first because we are the majority. It only makes sense. I said, see, but we don't think about it that way. Because if you go to Africa or any country in Africa, any you know what I'm saying, you're gonna find
Yeah.
you go there and live there. Majority of the people there are black. So majority of the businesses would be black. Majority of everything, airports, gas stations, everything would be black, black, black. But you're in a country where there's 65% of the people here are Caucasian. So of course, most of the companies, most of the businesses, most of the things you're going to be seeing, and then there's nepotism. So if I have an industry, if I have a job in a position, I'm naturally gonna make sure my nephew or my cousin or my brother-in-law gets the opportunity first. But
Yeah.
then I said we hold marches and rallies, and I said this what happens with media. Media comes in and they stir up that color
Mhm.
thing to where you're not even looking at the statistics and looking at the numbers and understanding like, yeah, that's why these things happen. But that doesn't say that you don't have the opportunity to get a piece of the pie. But you have to understand that these industries are owned by the majority. And that's what the
Yeah.
guy was saying. One of the jokes he made, one of the young guys stood up during the debate and he said, well, why don't they should allow more blacks to vote in Mississippi. And the guy said, he said it's not the fact that it's not enough black people voting, it's the fact that there's too many white people voting. And it made sense because it's like they're the
Mhm.
majority. If there's more people, there's more of them voting. It's not that there's not enough black people voting, it's just happen to be more white people there are voting. And if they're Republican or Democrat, whatever it is, they're just the main ones voting. But that's what happens with these races, these elections, is that they're always pushing for the black vote because it's the minor vote. But at the end of the day, it's like I think they're just pushing for that just to create tension. I don't even think it matters because you
No.
know what happened here with our election with the mayor. They come to find out that it was only like 10 to 15, I think 10 to 15,000 people that voted out of like 100,000 residents that
Mhm.
could have came out and voted. So I said when you think about the numbers and you really sit back and think about what's going on, I said, man, you would drive yourself crazy if you keep getting caught up in this agenda that they're putting out there when it comes to the media.
Yeah.
They just want to pin us against each other. Now they're doing it with the vaccinations, they're doing it with the COVID, the masks. I said it's just oh man, it's really sickening. And we sit back and we have philosophy talking about this stuff all the time. And you really got to be. People are not thinking, man. The age
They're
of
not.
thinking is gone.
Yeah. Reasoning.
Reasoning, right? Like,
Reasoning.
come
And
on, dog. Like,
gathering data and looking at data and saying this what this person is saying doesn't make sense. Why doesn't that make sense?
yeah, right. We
And
hot
why
straight to
and this person
emotionalism.
and even say this person makes sense to me. Why does he make sense to me? Because if he makes sense to me, then maybe that doesn't mean that he's right and I'm right. That could be
Right.
that maybe we're both wrong. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it it's crazy. I mean the this what we're seeing right now is the country right now is spinning and just like almost like spinning around looking for what is the truth. I don't even know what the truth is because I've been lied to so much. What I believed is not real.
Yeah. Yeah.
And reality that I think of is not real. I mean, even what you just explained, the reality of so many people right now is saying, I just talked to a young African American woman just 2 or 3 weeks ago. I was breaking down some stuff to this young lady about the agenda, right? The LGBTQ agenda, and how could a group that's only 2 to 3% of the country,
Mm-hmm.
they, not even that, but let's just say 2% of America
Mm-hmm.
are gay right now, or whatever in the alphabet.
Yeah.
But 14% of African Americans don't even feel like they have been heard and that they have been reconciled
Mm-hmm.
from the wrongs that happen to them on a day-to-day basis
Mm-hmm.
or in history. How can
Yep.
that small group have more power than 14%
Yep. Yep.
of the population?
Yeah.
And they have been here for probably longer.
And
You know,
yo, it's crazy you said that because that was a conversation I had. Because okay, you're gay and you're talking about your injustice. You're not getting the proper. But then if you're gay and you're black, I said so you mean to tell me, all right, so if you are feeling the injustice, and not to say that there aren't any injustices taking place and
yeah, yeah.
racism and stuff like that. I definitely, understand that. But you're fighting two fights. So I mean, like, you're gonna have to pick
But
one.
at the end of the day, you're only really going to be seen as one.
Exactly. And that was the thing that we was trying to I said in the discussion, like, yo, you gotta stop. It don't matter if you're gay or not. You're acting like now you're still black. So I said
Yeah,
you have to really you have to pick your poison. You can't be sitting out there because that's one of the things the gay community is trying to do too. Is like it's our own people that's hating against us. Like, bro, y'all
yeah.
caving in on yourself. I said, I don't care if you gay or not. I said, "Now, we black. Like, what's up, bro? Like, anything we can get popping, let's get it." But I said,
Actually, I think the black community has been less, well, not less, more open to that lifestyle than the white community.
yeah,
In
and
like historically,
mm-hmm.
not that
That
they agree with it, but
no,
they
but this
accepted it.
openly, yes. That's the thing
Yeah,
about it. I said they're trying to make it seem like we're the ones gay bashing. We be like, nah, we not like that. We be like, yo, bro, you gay, you gay. They keep it over there. We're not. They want to make it seem like we're the ones out there threatening each other. Doing. I said, nah, you can't be doing. And then to have the gay black men going out there saying that about other black people, like y'all are
yeah.
just being too dumb. Y'all just like you were saying earlier in the conversation. People are just going along with the protest. They don't know what they're protesting. They're
They
just
don't, yeah,
it's another fight. I'm with you. Let's go. What is it for?
yeah.
That
Let's
sounds right. Let's
cancel
go
this
for it.
person. Yeah, let's cancel this person.
Yeah, the cancel culture. I said, you got to stop. I'm so glad, like I said, Dave Chappelle when he came out with it. I'm so glad that dropped. I'm glad
Yeah,
Boosie said what he had to say. I said because certain people you have to have that person to say, nah, son, we're not about to keep
but
going with the norm. Everything gets
man,
recycled. And nothing
I mean,
there's nothing new under the sun. So whatever's going to take place now, there was probably another time in history where everything look at in the Bible where they talk about the Babylon. It was not Babylon, but
yeah,
um what was the one city that remember when Lot wife looked back, she turned to ash?
yes, yes.
Sodom and Gomorrah. Look at that.
Sodom and Gomorrah. Yeah,
I said, you look at that story right there, just like, yo, they're telling you there was a time where it was a place like that. That was crazy. Men sleeping
like
with men all
they
over.
didn't even want the virgin chicks. They wanted the men.
Exactly. But society will have you look at it like, oh, gay homosexuality is the craziest it's ever been. It's just everywhere. It's crazy. It's like, all
Nah,
right.
it's
But
always
it,
been there, man.
yeah. And there was a time where society had to snap everything back in order and be like, all right, hold on now. We're not about to just have a hodgepodge. You just flaunting this, and because we have to get back. Like those dads, them dads at that school, I said they understand, man. Like there's so many young men and women
Yeah,
that are growing up, and not just in the black household, in many different households. But I can speak for my people. But there's so many that are just being raised without fathers, man. I know I've been working in these prisons. This past month, me and Frank been going there every weekend, man, working with these young men over at Industry, the detention center out here, and just to hear these guys, man. We be doing the hip hop with them, so we bring the recording equipment and stuff out there for them to record some rap and stuff like that.
yeah,
And I tell you, Jeff, man, every time we put on beats and stuff for them, and it got 4 different groups. You know, there's different guys in different groups. Sometimes they can't come because they get shut down or whatever, and they get in trouble. So only 1 or 2 can come. But I tell you now, every time these guys come in and they get an opportunity to rap, Jeff, all they rap about is killing their ops. And it's only, I mean, the young kid, yo, Jeff, the young kid told me Sunday. I know this would have had you disturbed, and like, I've heard it and seen a lot, but I said this was just so surreal. Young kid, 16, and he showed me his rap book, and he was so hype about this song that him and another kid was writing. They were going to make a song for their ops that died for each month of the year. So every month they knew somebody that was their ops that they were
yeah,
against that died, and they were going to make a song dropping their name in each month and how they died. And he went to
mm,
explain to me how one kid he knew got shot in his mouth and how his mouth was hanging down. He was just like, yo, he could have lived, but if you would have lived, you wouldn't have had no bottom mouth. Crazy. Like, he's telling me the story at 16, Jeff, and he's looking at probably like 4 or 5 years. He's just too young to go into the jail, so he
to the
has to
big
stay in the
boys, yeah,
detention center. Yeah. And I'm listening to all these. I said, and Jeff, I mean, us all they talk about. So, we try
yeah,
to steer and guide them and tell them, you can try to open up and express yourself in different ways, but that's all they care about. And I said, man, we're dealing with a tough nation of men right now whose minds are like, man,
well, you
there's
know
that
what it
father,
all
that
comes
masculinity in the home. Psh,
it
bro.
all comes down to when during that that violence, that hatred, that anger, that
Mm-hmm.
bitterness, it all stems down to unforgiveness, man.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever, and it started the first murder that ever happened on this world, and
Mm-hmm.
every murder after that, wherever that blood hit the ground, those areas are cursed. And where if there was no forgiveness that happened from that, like no honest, forgive me, I shouldn't have done this,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, as as those things get that unforgiveness starts to move forward in generations and generations and in areas, that spirit of murder and chaos and just hatred, that you could actually hate somebody
Yeah. Yeah.
that you don't even know
You don't even
just because
know.
they,
That's the crazy part. It's just I'm against them. That's the ops. It's like
yeah,
football. Like, we're on teams, but I'm against you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could be my friend after this game over.
yeah.
But this is real life, so this is not like you coming back. It's like, nah.
And even
I'm
if I didn't
excited
like you
he
when I
died.
first, yeah, even if we didn't get along when we first met, you know what I'm saying? Like, give me another chance in a
Jeff,
different
yeah,
scenario. You know how many people, like, I didn't like him, or it's not like we didn't like each other, we just didn't connect right away the first
yeah,
time we met. But by the fifth, fourth, fifth, sixth time, all of a sudden, we're like, yo, you want to go over here and hang out over here? And then all of a sudden, I'm best friends with somebody.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
crazy, man.
It's definitely that. Those days have come and gone. I said,
But when I was saying that reconciliation,
hmm
that coming together and realizing when that kid, the issue is, when is that kid gonna realize that all that stuff that has been fed to him is not reality?
mm,
Will it be that sentence day when that kid, he does 4 or 5 years here, he does 3, 6 here, but then all of a sudden he does two, he's getting 2 life sentences and he's going up, well, I will always say go up north, but he's already up north. So he's,
yeah, Jeff. It's
you
a
know,
badge of honor for them to go to jail.
yeah,
Like that's how they look at it. It's like, I'm going up top. Young kids, yeah, I'm about to go up top. He was all hype about him, like what?
because
Crazy.
um, did you hear about Alec Baldwin shot those two
Yep,
people on the thing?
yep. I heard about it in New Mexico. Yep.
So, you know, his hatred towards he was the most outspoken actor against Trump, against just I mean, he hated Trump for whatever reason.
Yeah,
He said
visceral. I know he had a visceral hate for her. I remember.
remember all that, right?
Yeah.
So I found out some really crazy. So first of all, they keep on saying that it was a prop gun, right?
Yeah.
A prop gun can't shoot real bullets. It was a real gun that they put fake bullets in, but they also used it as a real gun to go target shooting.
Okay.
So, so the person that handed Alec Baldwin the gun to use it in the scene was the same person that was in charge of the gun that killed Brandon Lee, Bruce Lee's son, in The Crow.
What?
Yeah,
Hold on. Should I say that again? Because I
the
heard about the
same,
situation that happened with Brandon Lee. Like it was the same thing that happened on his set. Actor
the
being killed, but I
same,
didn't know this
the
was connected
same
to.
exact thing. Listen how connected this whole story is. This is crazy. Like I, I jumped up out of my kid. I was cooking today, and I sat down for a second and I started looking at some stuff because I knew we were coming on tonight, and this came up, and I was like, I just kept on digging and digging. This is crazy. You're not even gonna believe this, man. So the same person that was in charge to make sure that those bullets were blanks in Brandon Lee's in the gun that was shot Brandon Lee
Yeah.
and killed him was the same person on set that handed Alec Baldwin the gun.
Shut up. No. What?
Yes. Okay, so that's just the first part. I was blown away. Now, in the report, it said they weren't even shooting the scene. Alec Baldwin was making a joke and said, "Why don't I just shoot you right now?" and bucked her.
Yo, no. Ju- Get out of here.
I swear.
What?
Now, now that's what they were saying. Because in the report, um, in the report, there was, I guess, a couple different discrepancies in the
Uh
original
huh.
report of what happened. So that is not verified. That's why I was trying to dig more. But we do know that the shooting did not take place while they were actually running the camera. Okay,
What? So it was like it was just.
it's just hearsay that he was joking around and shot her. Like I'll just shoot you right now, kind of thing. Let's get the scene over and I'll shoot you right now, and just pulled
Wow.
the trigger and shot both of them. I think it like went through one and
Yeah,
ricocheted
it went
and hit
through.
the other one.
Yeah, and hit the other one.
Yeah.
That's what happened. Yeah, with two people injured, one died. Yeah.
But this isn't even gonna, this is what's gonna blow your mind. The husband of the woman that died,
Mm-hmm.
I forgot her name. Hitchman or something.
Hmm?
I'm trying to remember her name.
Oh, okay.
It- so her husband, the 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 woman that died, husband is the lawyer to the okay, let me, I'm going to say this weird and make sure that you understand this. The
Okay.
woman's the woman's that died,
Yeah.
the actress that died, her husband is the lawyer and worked for the lawyer firm that is working with the lawyer that is being indicted for with the Durham indictments for lying to the FBI about the Clintons.
What? So she's wife to one of the guys, like pretty much that's in the Clinton stuff right now. That's being that's
That
he's a
may or
witness.
may had to say, listen, you better shut your mouth, or the next bullet's going to be you. I'm not saying it is or isn't, but how do these connections and how do these deaths always get tied back to
Mhm.
somebody being protected by or trying to protect the Clintons or somebody coming
Mm.
out to tell on the Clintons?
Yeah. See. Yeah. That is something to Wow. That's crazy, man. He got pulled like that. Like, like I mean, but Alec Baldwin. I mean, it would only make more sense if Alec Baldwin doesn't get charged or anything.
It's no, it's straight up. It should be manslaughter. It should be
That's what I said.
manslaughter for him
Involuntary.
and involuntary manslaughter for him and involuntary for the person who handed the gun. Because
Yeah, because
ultimately,
I looked it up in New Mexico. That's how they're rated as a fourth degree felony. But I don't
yeah,
know. I said I don't know. It's Alec Baldwin. He's famous. I don't know. I don't know. They may give him the. I don't know because they may just charge the guy that handed him the gun, the prop guy, and say, "Hey, you should have." Because obviously he didn't get in trouble for the Brandon Lee killing.
no, yeah,
you know. I mean, I would. That's something I got to look into. Who got in trouble for the Brandon Lee killing? Did anybody get prosecuted with that?
I don't think so. I think it was like what I remember. I mean, I remember it was like it was a sad thing because like it was almost over, and I remember like watching the movie, like, yo, this was a dark movie, like,
Yeah, The Crow,
yeah, and
right? I think that's what it was called.
it was The Crow, yeah, it was a good movie, but it was real dark and kind of like evil. It was like a lot of people that were it was into like that. What's it called, emo or
Oh yeah, I
like
got you. The emo.
that
Yep.
wear all black and had
Yeah. Dark
long
fingernails, painted.
chains,
Yep.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They were all into The Crow when I was, because that came out like when I was in like late, I think like mid 90s, The Crow came out,
It was
and
like late '90s.
late 90s. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but I remember when I was in college, this guy loved, like he thought he was The Crow,
He
but
thought he was
but
on that Brandon
so
Lee wave.
yeah, and so that Durham thing is really shaking up some stuff, man. So
That.
when
Oh,
I talked to you last time about it, when I was discussing it, Uh, I was telling you that there was a major CEO involved,
Mm-hmm.
a tech CEO, and a college. And they just announced last Wednesday who they were. So it was Georgia Tech. So
Mm-hmm.
a group of college students from Georgia Tech um, was given the data by the CEO. His name, what is it? Rodney Jaffe, and you should know this name because he is the first person to do exactly what you and Frank did.
What's his name? Rodney.
Rodney Jaffe, he basically built the manuscript of a hosting company.
Oh, wow.
And
I have
so
no.
that's why he's so big because I mean, you know how that industry just took off.
Yeah, yeah.
He's
Mm-hmm.
basically the founder or the father of hosting.
Ooh.
But he had but once he built the company, he sold it and then he just kept on doing other stuff. He's really one of the
He
high
probably
end tech
created the
guys.
technology. That's what most of foreign. He's a foreign guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's a lot of foreign guys.
he's not foreign, but he deals with a lot of foreign
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
people. Um, but so he was the tech CEO who who kind of pressured a lot of different people to do stuff for the lawyer. And the lawyer's name is starts with an S. I forgot his name, man. So, oh man,
It's missing you skipping your brain right now. It'll come up. Just say what he
yeah.
did.
Oh, Sussman. Sussman. So Sussman is the
Mm-hmm.
lawyer. Uh, he was the lawyer for Hillary Clinton and the DNC, and he was the one who put together the whole case against Trump to for the Russian collusion propaganda.
Oh, really?
And so Sussman used the guy from the tech guy, Jaffe, to get all of the data because they tried to lie and say that Trump had a computer in
Yeah.
Trump, in the hotel that would he would go back and forth with uh with Russia with.
Mm-hmm.
But what's finding out is what we're find what the indictment is leading to is not that connection, but that computer or that kind of program. I don't know how, whatever it was, that server. That's what it was.
Uh-huh.
That server did not exist. That server did exist. They just they just knew that they had a server that did that. So let's say that he had one. And
Wow.
so the indictment is finding out that Hillary Clinton had a server and the DNC had a server and they were communicating with the Russians the whole time.
Is that the server they found in their bathroom?
And that's the server that was
Ooh.
whitewashed and nobody knew what happened to it.
Mm.
So
And nobody
all of
found.
this was remember all this was going on and we would have never known anything if it wasn't for WikiLeaks.
Yeah. Yeah, that WikiLeaks definitely. Yeah, that's what made. But you see how now they talked about it so much. Now it's just you could just talk about it, and they just hope that nobody comes out and says anything or try to
Right.
look anymore. We see the proof in the stuff that you people were doing, and they're not. There's no way to stop it, and it's just more and more stuff that keep happening.
The indictment is 27 pages long, and it indicted 15 a combination of 15 companies and 15 people so far.
Wow.
And the people that are like looking at the indictment and know about indictments and know the kind of like the because when you read it, you're like, what does that mean? It kind of it doesn't it doesn't really read well to people like me and you who would read it, but doesn't know the language of it. But the people that know the language of it is actually saying that they are only they're targeting the way that they're targeting individuals and companies is
Hmm.
that the game this is just the beginning of the indictment. They're not laying out what's coming. They want they want to start with strategic people and allow that information to come out, take care of them, and then keep on going up the ladder instead of trying to get them all at one time. Because when you try to get them all at one time, everybody plea bargains. Some people come out
Yeah.
and say it was me when it really wasn't because they don't
Yep.
because there's more powerful people above them. And so there's a lot of, I guess, underground chatter talking about this indictment, and they're thinking it's going to hit the fan within within from now until November. We're going to start to see some real top people um, being brought in, and so, some not top people like that. I'm not talking about Hillary Clinton or anything like that, but like major
Even
players
though
in the
she needs to be.
yeah, in the indictment that's going to set the stage to bring the real heavy hitters in. So there's a there, things are coming out. Even um, Jeffrey Epstein stuff is still coming out. So they're about to release, I think next week, they're going to release the whole thing, everything. So we're going to find out everything about the the Jeffrey Epstein's arrest and statements and
Hmm.
what Maxine or whatever Maxwell said. But they just the crazy thing is they just had um, uh, an interview. They found out who put the video cameras into Jeffrey Epstein's ranch out in, I think, in New Mexico. It was a
Hmm.
big, huge ranch where the Clintons had a house on the ranch, on the property. And in this big, huge facility, there was underground um, rooms and all this crazy stuff. And on the, like, what are they called? The blueprints of the building, it said that
Hmm.
there was computer rooms that were bigger than houses.
Wow.
And so what they interviewed, somebody found out who the camera company was, and they interviewed the guy that put the cameras in to the house. And there was cameras in all the rooms and everywhere. And what he said, he made a statement saying when he showed up, he did not tell him where to put the cameras. He didn't. He just gave him like a blueprint and almost like somebody, basically directions from another professional where to put the videos. And
Mm.
so they're saying that it wasn't his, like, he was the one that got the girls, the kids, and gave the people what they wanted, and then he would record them and hold them for ransom for whoever was the most powerful people and would tell him what you got on this person. Oh, I got that. Give me a couple million. I'll give you the tape. So he was the one working behind the scenes, gathering all the incriminating videos and information about people, and then just waiting for these high powered people to come and say, we got to take care of this person, or we got to take care of that person. What you got on them?
Yeah, yeah, but
So
that's normally how it is, though, man. Like
yeah,
you see them certain positions and stuff, man. It's not always people are already like I said with the whole the Durham situation. I said, man, that's just I'm sort of just thinking about how that connection. Like, man, is the reach really that crazy to where they reach all the way to a movie set just to set a point? Like, have somebody shot and really affect the case? Like, man, it's a world we live in. That's why I said I enjoy doing this show. You don't want to get a chance to do it the days that we do it and the times I said because it just becomes like just to hear the craziness in the world, but be able to put it out there and to get it off our chest, and just to hear it in a microcosm back from somebody that shares the reality I live in. It's like, man, it's all this stuff really just happening, and people are just going day to day. Like I look at my dollar and it's the value is just going down and down and down. I just like I be buying stuff like I feel like I'm paying double for stuff that I'm doing, and we just sitting around like it's okay. I said I'm positioning myself in life to make more money in the near future, but I said not everybody's going to be doing. I said these positional jobs are always going to be worked by people. It's always going to need people that's going to need more. But you tell us $15 an hour, and now everything is so much more money. Like, but these jobs, these jobs now. I was telling somebody, to work at Amazon. Man, Amazon talking about $21 to start, $5,000
yeah,
signing bonus. I said all these jobs are like paying crazy just to get you to come work, so nobody wants to work. I said good. I'm glad it's like that. We going back the way the world started. Let's go back. Food, drink, shelter. That's all I need. Food, drink, and shelter.
I had a good conversation over the weekend, and we were breaking down some political stuff, and so by the end of the time, we talked each other out of every social construct. Like we talked about capitalism to socialism to communism to fascism, and what are the strengths, what are the weaknesses, and how should it be? And it came basically, you know what it came down to?
What?
We should just live off the land. Everybody just make their own, hunt their own food, take care of their own
Yes.
family,
Food, drink, and
and
water. That's it.
yeah,
Food, drink,
and
and,
just
and
travel wherever
shelter.
the food is. Yeah,
That's it. That's that. 'Cause that's how it's always been. I said, yo, if somebody's a better hunter, see what ended up happening was the better hunter in the field. He ended up hunting all the animals and got a team. Hunting all the, we
yeah,
hunting all the pigs, and we'll sell the pigs to you. Instead of just being like, yo, I get the pigs the meat, you get the bread, you get
yeah.
that, and it's just us in this area right here doing this. Them over there doing
That's what
that. Oh man, it's crazy.
I was just gonna say. That's what we couldn't. I kept on saying. Then if that's how we started, and that's how if it works so well, then why do people keep on trying to build cities? It's in us. It's innate in us.
Yeah.
Um, the evil of man, to take care of itself and try to have people underneath them to control. I don't know where
Hmm.
that comes from. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
it,
But yeah, for the most part, man, like I said, it's something that we always just we come here, we put everything on the table that we experience, we talk to throughout the week, and I say it's always just a great conversation, man. Um, to be able to to try to dissect this false reality that's being placed amongst us. My daughter, she asks me from time to time. It's been a lot lately. She say, "Daddy, you're a boy. You're a boy. You're a boy. You like girls." And I'm like, "Why
Mm-hmm.
is she even asking me this stuff?" And I'm like, I tell people just the message I want to put out there. You got to be careful of our children's programming. And I speaking it to myself. I said they're being so subtle with little nuances in cartoons, music, uh, publications, billboards. It's happening at a rate to where I said, nah, I spend more time. I normally take it to the library once or twice a week, but I said, nah, I went there. We done been there about 4 times already. I said, I'm probably gonna go every day, man. I'm just sitting there reading books and stuff. I said, because now I said I really want to get them away from the TV and all these devices. I said because man, this it's reality out here now is getting
Yeah.
distorted at an all time high, man. So and that's just something Keely that I really wanted to just now drive home. This one is like just be careful of the content that you're allowing your children and stuff to take in, man. Because that little Nas X stuff, that agenda they putting out there for our kids and stuff, man, is serious and it's scary, man.
Yeah.
Because it's
I mean,
effective. So,
yeah,
but
and
that's all I got on my end with that. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
ultimately, that agenda is there to just destroy uh, the human race, as many human races as they can.
Yeah,
Meaning, not because you can't reproduce in that lifestyle.
exactly. That's why it's not natural.
That's
You're
not
going against the
natural.
natural order,
Yeah.
right?
But I did hear. I just wanted to share one thing because I thought it was
Oh yeah,
really
go ahead.
cool, man. Um, I've been I've been studying a lot about gun safety because I
Hmm.
finally got my guns and stuff.
Yeah, I remember you
And
telling me that. Yeah.
yeah, and so I was listening to this one guy, and he said if if my kids want to do something, and he has a list of things. So like if they want to watch TV, they got to do um X amount of burpees or X amount of sit-ups. And
Mm.
so they they basically they're allowed to do it, but they got to realize that they got to do something for it.
You got to earn it.
You got to earn that time away, and whatever that is that thing that they earn is mostly he was using physical fitness with it. But you'll start to notice that they stop to really care about watching TV and getting on their phones. They're gonna find things that they don't really need to have to go out and sweat and do all that extra,
Yeah, I
extra
know.
stuff.
I know. They
So I was
don't.
like, man, that's a pretty smart thing,
Yeah, no, it is like you say, make them earn it, but at the same time, you still got to watch it. You got to make sure whatever it
man. Yeah,
is,
what
especially
it
that
is.
TikTok
It's
man.
true.
TikTok, it's fun, but that thing is dangerous, man. It
I
be some
know.
TikToks that be coming up on my phone that be inappropriate in the song, and then I'll be about to pass it. My daughter, she be over there finishing the line. I'll be like,
Um,
"How the heck you know the?" I said, "Nah." I said, "TikTok is nah." TikTok be having some stuff on there. I said, "Ah." It done got a little raunchy. I
listen,
said, nah.
I'm so blessed, man. My kids probably they have cut down their screen time.
Hmm.
I would say 90%.
Oh, that's amazing.
Like
Just being down there.
just being down here. I mean, when they come home from school, they get a snack, they do their homework, and they're out playing with their friends.
Oh, see.
They get their bikes, they get their skateboard, whatever they want to ride. Their friends come over here and play. They play in the yard with we got a new dog, and So a lot of the kids just be hanging out over here, all good kids, man. And
Oh, amazing, man. That's what you need, a nice camaraderie amongst the people, everybody,
yeah,
cool kids that's looking to hang out with each. Yeah, that's amazing, Jeff. I love that. Say, because I don't
all
want to let
this.
my kids play with these kids over here. I said, nah, that's why we planning on moving in the next 2 years. I said, we going to be gone too. I said, nah, y'all, I don't want y'all playing with little Bobby Joe in the street. They too
They're still in
crazy.
the
Yeah, we're gonna have to get up out of here. It's just the violence, man. I said it's just too much. Hello?